Hey everyone, welcome to Shop Talk. I get the question quite regularly, how to properly separate the crankcase from the crankshaft. And with some tools here, I will show you how to do that. You really need this tool. This works on most all chainsaws. This is a tool that Husqvarna provides. I can either get it for you, or you can check with your local Husqvarna dealer and you can order these. Put a little bit of grease on the center part here and just slide it over the crankcase. And with a little bit of pressure, it'll just separate that crankcase. Just like that. Bearing is still in the crankcase. You can heat this crankcase up with a hot air gun, 390 degrees. Use your heat sensor. I use one of these and it tells you exactly what degrees you're at. Bump this with a little rubber mallet and the bearing will just fall right out. Installing new bearings, heat the crankcase up to 392 degrees. Have this bearing, a brand new bearing, in the freezer for approximately 30 minutes before you do this procedure. After you've got it heated up, take the bearing and it'll just fall right into place. Perfect every time. When you drive these bearings in with a hammer, when you've got a cold case and you're popping it in, which I've seen a lot of technicians do, you're shaving metal and you're losing that metal that holds that bearing in place. Never do that. As far as installing the crankcases, there's another tool you'll need. I use a couple of these dowels. This just helps to line it up and keeps the gasket in place. It's just an extra little helper. Piece of microfiche film holds that crank in place. Line up your dowels. These tools are available either through your Husqvarna dealer or your Stihl dealer. There's different ones for different saws, but they're very important. They do line up the crankcase, crankshaft, makes everything go together properly. Hold the outer one here with the small crescent and the large one here, turn it, and you just crank that crankcase right into place. Watch for those little pins as they go in. Make sure those line up nicely. Make sure your gasket's in place. Good idea is to leave your oil cap off. I've seen a lot of technicians have the cap in there and the retainer get between the crankcase halves. Creates a problem. There you have it. Back together again. Really important to have the correct tools. You can do a very professional job if you get the correct tools. If you got any questions on that, give me a call.